Good evening, everybody. What is the topic of the agenda today? Faster, quick. What is the topic of the agenda today? Very good. Exception handling all about. Okay, sir. What's an exception handling? Let's get started. Okay, pay attention now. Oops, wait a minute. Okay, pay attention now. What is exception handling all about? Sir, during runtime, while executing the program, if any unwanted event because of which program execution gets terminated abnormally. Oh, listen, try to understand this way. While executing the program at runtime, due to some event, program execution gets terminated abnormally. That is nothing but an exception. What is an exception? Due to which at runtime program execution that gets terminated abnormally. That's called faster. Everybody, what is that called? That is called as faster. Due to an event due to which program execution gets terminated abnormally. That event is what? An event due to which program execution gets terminated abnormally. See, abnormal termination means program is not completely done, but in between somewhere program execution stopped. So due to an event because of which program execution gets terminated abnormally, nothing but an exception. And what is exception handling all about? Nothing but handle the exception. Whatever unwanted event comes, we will provide an alternate path of execution. By providing an alternate path of execution whenever at runtime, if any event occurs and program gets terminated abnormally. I repeat the entire scenario. While executing the program at runtime, some event has occurred, sir. Due to that event, program execution gets terminated abnormally. And by providing an alternate path of execution so that program execution continues smooth is the process of exception handling. Can I say this much is clear? Theoretically, we'll discuss everything practically also. Is this clear to you? Basic scenario. Sir, while program executing, some event came because of which program execution terminated normally is an exception. By providing an alternate path of execution so that program execution continues smoothly is nothing but exception handling. Can I say this is clear to everybody? Each one of you faster, response faster. Everybody. Basic definition of exception and exception handling. Clear? Everybody? Perfect. Pay attention now. Shall I move ahead? Okay. Let's get started. Let me show you. Just a minute. Let me share the screen with you. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay. Let me share the screen. Let me know once the screen is visible. Okay. I hope the screen is visible to each one of you. Quickly respond in chat, please, guys. Faster. Okay, sir. We are starting exception handling. But before getting into the actual hardcore discussion of exception handling, let's have a look. What is an exception handling all about? Before that, let me talk about something called runtime stack manipulation. I'm sure all of us have learned enough about stack manipulation while learning about the methods in Java. I hope you're clear. But let's have a look into it. Pay attention. Agenda wise, if I need to tell you exception handling will be, we'll start with the introduction. What is exception handling? Then we'll move towards what does it mean by runtime stack manipulation? First thing, then we'll talk about default exception handling. If we are not writing any exception handling code, then what will happen? How the things will be there? and program will be terminated normally, abnormally, all that we need to discuss about it. Apart from that, we will be moving towards actual exception hierarchy, where one of the popular interview question comes, what is exception hierarchy? This we will learn today. And moving forward, how can we create our own custom exceptions if required? Then try, catch. There are two blocks are that try and catch. How the control flow happens when try catch is written. Along with that, we will see what are the different ways with which we can be able to get necessary information of an exception object. Along with that, we will see what if can I write one try with multiple catches or not? If so, what is the scenario will be there? Can I write try, catch, also finally, and difference between most important question we had been discussing. Finalize, finally, we'll address this question as well. Apart from that, we will see the multiple combination of try, catch, finally, within try, catch, within catch, try, catch, within finally, try, catch, and all various combinations. Complete entire control flow between the try, catch, finally, and nested try, catch also. Am I clear? Then throws, and summary about the exception handling, whatever. Basically, entire exception handling is all about 5 keywords: try, catch, finally, throw, and throws. If you know these 5 keywords, you know exception handling very well. There is no issue about it. Can I say this is all about we have to learn? Yes or no? Faster, guys. Agenda of the day, we have to complete this much today itself without fail. Let's get started. Shall I proceed? Okay, then. First thing first. Introduction. Let's talk about exception. What is an exception? An unwanted or unexpected event that disturbs the normal flow of execution. Basically, interrupt the execution. What is exception handling? Nothing but providing an alternate path of execution to avoid the abnormal termination. See, what is exception? Some abnormal event come, an event come at runtime because of which program gets terminated abnormally. That event is nothing but exception. By handling it, providing an alternate path of execution, so that program gets terminated smoothly. Nothing but the exception handling. Can I say definition wise, we are very much clear. Everybody faster. Are you all clear definition wise? Yeah, great. Moving forward, sir. We will avoid the abnormal termination. Let's look at the one simple class where I have taken a class test. One method is main, another method is do something, another method is do something more. In that case, can I say program execution? Who is going to execute the program, guys? First of all, who is going to execute the program? Faster. Which component is responsible for executing the program? Which component is responsible for executing the program? Very good. Compiler, Sana. Very good. Very good, Nihar Raj. Compiler is the one who's going to execute the program. Very good, Balram. Very good. All of you, geniuses. Huh? Compiler will compile the code. Who is going to execute the code? Correct the answers and type faster. Exactly. JVM is the one who's going to execute the code. Don't forget, there are 2 phases: compilation phase, execution phase. In compilation, source file will be read by the compiler and intermediate level language code will be generated. That is bytecode. This bytecode will be further given as an input to the JVM, and JVM is the one responsible for executing the code. Do you agree? Yes, no, faster. Faster, faster. Yes, sir. And pay attention now. Important. In this class, as of now, 3 methods are there. While executing JVM, what JVM will do? Create a class table. What is that called? A stack frame, basically. One stack in the stack area for every method, one stack frame or activation record will be created. And inside this, we will be keeping all the necessary information with respect to the main method, like local variables. For do something, if you observe, every stack frame is meant for creating record of one method called whatever is happening. Am I clear? Sir, total, if you observe, total methods are how many? Total, one is main method, one is do something method, one is do something more. So basically 3 stack frame will be there whenever we see a method call. As soon as you see a method call, a new stack frame has to be created. So pay attention now. If I need to tell you, Sir, total 3 stack frame will be there. One for main method, one for do something method, one for do something more method. And moving forward, if I start executing, if I need to ask you the output, can you please help me faster, guys? Pay attention. Program execution always start from. Program execution always start from. Program execution always start from main method. Agree? Program execution always start from the main method. In the main method, first thing, what do you see? A call to the do something method. Do you agree? A call to the do something method? Yes. As soon as call is encountered here, we will get into the body of the do something method. We will get into the do something method body. Am I clear? Then, as soon as you get into the method body, another stack frame for do something will be created. Then here you are seeing one more method call. So as soon as you get into this method body, you will see one more stack frame for do something more. I hope this much is clear to each one of you. Everybody? Yes, sir. Now, first statement, what are we printing? Short form. What are we printing? The first statement. Perfect. Doing something more. DSM. Agree? So basically, we are printing do something more. Agree? First statement is do something more. Once this much is done, pay attention what is happening, guys. Once this entire method has been executed, after this statement, nothing is there. So control will step out of this method and goes back to where it came from. As soon as control step out of this method, what will happen? Corresponding stack frame will be deleted. Hope you agree. Corresponding stack frame has been deleted. Then we came back to which point? We came back to this particular point, right? We came back to this particular point. Now, after this, what is the next statement? What do I need to say? Print. We need to say print. Oops. We need to say do something will be printed. Once do something has been printed, control will go back where it came from. It came to this call from this location. Then after this line also executed. Then corresponding stack frame will be deleted for do something. Hope you agree. Done. Then next is what? Already you responded, did something. Agree? Did something. And once this is also done, when I would have printed what? Did something also. After that, control will step out and go back to the where it came from, that is JVM. Don't you think? Stack frame for main method also has been discarded. Agree, everybody? This is what we have learned till now. All of you? Can I say everybody? This is what we have learned so far? Yes, sir. This is how the stack manipulation happens. Runtime stack mechanism happens based on the number of method calls. If everything goes well, this is when there is no exception occurred in this case. Agree, guys? Now pay attention. Consider. Let me help you with this scenario. Pay attention to one line which is critically important for us to discuss now. Pay attention. What is that line I'm highlighting? Pay attention. I'm printing what? I'm printing what? Respond in chat faster. I am printing 10 by 0. So answer of this, mathematically infinity, but in Java, we will say this as arithmetic exception. We will, very good. We will tell it as arithmetic exception. Am I right? Arithmetic exception will be there. But let me start the conversation. One stack frame will be created. And while creating a stack frame, if you remember, wait a minute. One stack frame would be there for main method as well as for do something as well as the do something more. Agree. First message will be short form. First message will be do something more. After do something more, control will step out and corresponding stack frame will be deleted and go back to print what? This method call is done. Then print, very good, doing something. Am I right? Then we will say doing something is done. Once this much is done, can I say this stack frame also will be deleted? Agree? Faster. This stack frame will be deleted also. Okay, sir. Even this stack frame has been deleted. After this, control goes back to where it came from. This one. Everything is done. Next line, what is that? system.out.println of 10 by 0, which is an exception. This particular line creates an exception. Agree? Do you agree? This particular line is generating an arithmetic exception. Everybody agree? Yes, sir. In this case, as of now, we don't know what is exception handling code, but we know one thing: we are not writing any exception handling code as of now. If programmer is not handling any exception, in that case, if programmer is not handling any exception, if programmer is not handling any exception, in that case, there is a component of JVM. There is a JVM team, right? In that team, there is a component called, what is that component called as? If you read the caption of the entire slide, what is the caption all about? Default exception handler. There is a component called default exception handler. Whenever exception is being handled by the default exception handler, that is nothing but called default exception handling. JVM will not handle Yogesh. JVM is a superset. JVM have many components like default exception handler, thread scheduler. No problem, buddy. It's okay. No need to be sorry at all. So default exception handler, thread scheduler is there, garbage collector is there, execution engine is there. So different components have different tasks. One of the component what we are learning is default exception handler. Whenever you are not writing any exception handling code this way, as of now this line is generating exception. Ideally, this line may create a problem at runtime. I should write the exception handling code. If I didn't write, then default exception handler will handle the exception. And whenever default exception handler handle the exception, that is a very technical message. End user cannot understand. Agree? Look at the what is the message coming. Read exception in thread main java.like.arithmetic exception divided by 0. Nobody can understand what does it mean by this. At this line, this program will generate a exception. An exception is generated, and main method was not completely done. Program execution termination happened abnormally. Do you agree, guys? Everybody? Program was not completely done. At last line, some exception has occurred, due to which program execution could not be completed. Is that clear to everybody? Yes, sir. As of now, this is what is happening. When we are not writing any exception handling code, in that case, this is what is happening. Now I want to handle the exception, sir. Pay attention. Now we are starting. How do I handle the exception using two blocks? What are those? Read. What are new things on the screen? What are those two blocks? Can you see? What are two different blocks are there? One is faster, one is try. Very good. Another one is catch. So basically, we have two blocks. One block is called try block, where the entire code, all the codes whichever can generate exception, we will write inside the try block. And if at all exception has occurred, in that case, if you have to handle the exception, then we will write what? Then we will write alternate path of execution, that is catch. Pay attention. Try is the place where we should write the code which may generate the exception. Try, which may generate the exception. Catch, if exception occurred, what to do? That is written inside the catch block. Am I clear to everybody? Try meant to hold the instructions or the statements which may generate exception. If exception occurred at runtime, in that case, catch should be executed. Sir, what if no exception occurred? Then catch will not be executed. I repeat, catch will be executed only in one case, whenever exception occurred in try block and corresponding catch is found. Then only catch block will be executed. If there is no exception, in that case, there is no catch block execution will happen. Am I clear? Everybody, you consider it this way. Try is a place which is considered, it's a kind of highway. If at all highway is absolutely fine, why should I go to the bypass? Agree. If there is a problem at highway, I am not able to continue the highway, then in order to complete the journey, I will be taking a bypass. That bypass is nothing but the catch. Alternate path of execution. Am I clear to everybody, guys? Alternate path of execution is nothing but handle the exception in catch block. So catch block will be executed only in one scenario, when exception occurred in try and corresponding catch block is found. When exception occurred in try block and corresponding catch is found. When exception occurred in try block and corresponding catch is found, then only catch block will be executed. Can I say everybody clear with this? If there is no exception in try block, none of the catch block will be executed. Agree? Chali, moving forward. Shall I move forward, guys? Okay, sir. Now, in this case, I expect you to guess the output. I expect you to guess the output, what will happen in this case right now. I want the output to be coming 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever is your sequence. As per your understanding, whatever you know about exception handling, I'll get the idea how much. Perfect. 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5. Majority has responded 1, 2, 4, 5. Others, if you don't know, type DK, guys. I have to explain that. 1, 1, 4, 5. 2 will not be executed. Dilshad? Dilshad, 2 will not be executed. Dilshad? Yes, 2 will be also executed. Perfect. Rest everybody has given the absolutely right answer. 1, 2, 4, 5 is the right answer. 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, sir. Let me explain every single combination of all the exceptions, guys. I'm sure by attending these couple of sessions of exception handling, I'm sure all of you will be super confident about exception handling. So let me start the journey. Shall I start, guys? Everybody ready? Quick. All of you. Each one of you, are you ready? Okay, sir. Let's get started. Sir, first thing first. Program execution always start from main method. First statement is what? Statement 1. Let's print the statement 1. There is no problem in statement 1 printing. After printing, you are telling try block. Oh, JVM is little alert. Why? You have written a try block. That means in this try block, there might be a statement which can lead to generate an exception at runtime. Do you agree, guys? Everybody? If there is a try block, means possibility that it may generate some exception at runtime. Okay, sir. So JVM will be quite alert at this moment, right? Now pay attention. First statement is what? Print statement 2. Okay, printing is no problem, right? I printed the statement 2. So till now I have printed statement 1 and statement 2. Perfect. No problem. Now if you observe this particular line asking me to evaluate 10 divided by 0. In that case, arithmetic exception will come. If you are not aware, let me tell you, arithmetic exception will come. First thing JVM will check. Are you writing exception handling code? Yes, no. In our scenario, are we writing any exception handling code? Yes, no. Yes, no. Faster, faster, faster. Yes, sir. We have written try as well as catch. In that case, if at all any exception occur, I repeat, if at all any exception occur, first thing what will happen? First thing will be to take out the control out of the current executing block, current try block. Whichever line, this is the line which is generating exception, am I right? Then from this line itself, control will step out of the try block. This is the entire try block. I hope you agree. This is the entire try block. Control will step out of the try block and will be looking for the corresponding catch block. Oh, one catch has found, but is it the corresponding catch, sir? What do you mean by corresponding catch? I meant which exception is being generated here, sir? Arithmetic exception is being generated. If arithmetic exception has generated, then I have to write a catch which can handle the arithmetic exception. See, this catch block except parameter of short form parameter of, what is the parameter of catch block? Short form, guys. Faster. This catch block meant to handle the arithmetic exception. This catch block is meant for handling the arithmetic exception. And coincidentally, within this particular line, we are generating arithmetic exception, which is being handled by this particular catch block. Am I clear? Everybody? So this particular line 3 will not be executed. Is that clear? Is that clear? See, program execution started linearly, one after one. First statement one executed, statement one executed, no problem. Then we move towards forward, statement two came, this also executed successfully, no problem. While executing this, exception came. That's the reason we have changed the actual path. Else we should have been coming this way. Agree? This was the actual path. But exception came, so we have taken an alternate path of execution, that is catch block. So can I say now statement 4 will be executed? Yes or no? Faster, guys. Yes, sir. Since we have found the corresponding catch block, now catch body must be executed. So catch block will be executed. After executing the catch block, what is there? As soon as you get into the catch block, I repeat, as soon as you get into the catch block, immediately program becomes normal. Program execution becomes normal. I repeat, if at all corresponding catch is found, then program execution will become normal. Is that clear to all of you? Everybody, if control enter into the catch block, that means program execution become normal. So any steps are written after the catch block, all will be working normally. Am I clear to everybody? All of you, are you clear? Sir, funda is simple. If any exception occurred at runtime, within try block, if you are facing any exception, then first thing is immediately step out of the current try block. Step out of the current try block, look for the corresponding catch block. If corresponding catch means any catch which is meant to hold the exception occurred inside the try block. If corresponding catch found, then control will enter inside the catch block. As soon as control enter inside the catch block, that means program execution became normal. Agree? Here exception came, we have provided the alternate path, that is catch. As soon as you take the bypass, alternate path, catch, that means program execution became normal. Then the continuous execution will continue. Am I clear to this, everybody? Can I say everybody understood this much? Each one of you? Yes, sir. Till here, there is no confusion, no issue at all. Let's move forward. Now, output, as you all guessed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shall I proceed further, guys? If anybody has a doubt, feel free to ask. Or type pro in chat, please. Type pro in chat if you are comfortable and want me to proceed ahead. Quickly type pro in chat, guys. Faster, everybody. Okay. Okay. Let's get started. Thank you, guys. Everybody understood, I believe. And this is something we all might have already learned it. Okay, guys. Let's proceed further. And if you look at the next slide, here, there is one method. Print stack trace. E is just a reference. Okay, na? Print stack trace. What does it do, sir? What does it do? Answer, please. What does a print stack trace method does? Aha, very good, Bharat. Very good. Brilliant, man. Full exception means what all? No problem, Nihar. I'll discuss about it. That's why I'm asking. This is something I have to explain. Order of execution of methods. No, Bharat, really? I mean, serious? Let me help you with that. Hold on. Listen carefully. By the way, let me ask few things to you guys. Pay attention now. Hold on. Listen carefully. Hold on. Don't respond. Sir, who is that one which is trying to execute my program? Who is executing my program? Who is executing my program? Perfect. JVM is the one who is executing my program. Agree? JVM is the one who is executing my program. And during runtime, some unwanted event came. What do you mean by that? Program execution got terminated abnormally. Program execution gets terminated abnormally. Am I clear? Agree? See, in earlier languages, what used to happen? If runtime any issue comes, means program execution terminated, that's all. You cannot proceed further. Java said we will make our language fault tolerant. We will make our language fault tolerant. Any fault came at runtime, we will tolerate that by providing an alternate path of execution. This is called exception handling. Pay attention what is happening now. At runtime, due to some issue, whatever is the issue, one exception has occurred at runtime. Okay, na? So who is executing? JVM is executing. JVM has encountered a problem. So JVM will create an object. Which type of object? An object which is throwable. Which is throwable, which has the ability to throw. Okay, na? It can be thrown by the JVM. Okay. Now, what all the necessary information will be there inside this object? Let me help you with that. 3 information. What went wrong? What is the issue all about? Why is this occurring? Why this problem has come? And exactly where is the problem? 3 information. Any exception object will have it. First, what is the exception? Second, why the exception has come? Where the exception has come. Let me help you with this. If you would have remembered any exception message, like just now, if you would have seen, any exception message will be like what? Exception in, say right now in our case is thread main, right? Then it will tell java dot lang dot arithmetic exception. Colon will be there. After that, it will be written slash divide by 0 at, say in our scenario, com dot exception dot my exception is the class. Suppose I am creating my exception class or exception demo class is there. Consider, say exception demo is the class. And some line number says 13 is the line number. Consider. Now pay attention, what all is the necessary details are there. Sir, what is the exception all about? Exception is java.lang.exception. This is our first point. Are you with me, everybody? What is the exception? Java.lang.arithmetic exception. This is the exception. Why the exception is coming, sir? Because you are dividing by 0. Am I clear? Where exactly is the exception coming, sir? At this location is the exception coming. Fully qualified class name with line number will be given to you. Pay attention. Whichever running thread is there. Why it is telling the exception in thread main? Wait for a few minutes. Wait for a few days, not minutes. Wait for a few days. Let me move towards the multi-threading. Then I'm sure you will understand what is thread main. Why is it telling exception in thread main? We'll discuss that. But as of now, java.lang.arithmetic exception is the exception. What? Why? Because you are dividing by 0. Third, where? com.exception demo dot colon line number. So it is giving 3 information. What is the exception? Why the exception is coming? Where the exception is coming? All 3 information gathered into an object of throwable. This object is nothing but we call it collection, exception object. This object has been thrown to us, who? Developers. Listen and understand. Who is trying to execute? JVM is trying to execute our program. While executing, some problem came. What? You are trying to divide by 0. And exception occurred. What is the exception occurred? Java.lang.arithmetic exception. Why the exception has occurred? Because you are dividing by 0. Where the exception occurred? Fully qualified class name with the line number. Everything, all the details wrapped into an object and given to us. Who? Programmers. Why? So that default path, whatever was path, that is not working. There is some problem. So if there is a problem at the actual path, now an alternate path of execution should be provided by the developer. I repeat, JVM was trying to execute, but at runtime some problem occurred. Gathered all the necessary information, wrapped into an object and given to us. We will handle the exception. This is nothing but exception, unwanted event at runtime. Program execution gets terminated abnormally. Now we will handle the exception by providing an alternate path of execution so that program execution continues smoothly. Am I clear? Everybody? Everybody? Now, if you want to print all 3 reasons, what why and where. Then one method is there called print stack trace. What is the method? Print stack trace give us all the information. What is the exception? Why is the exception? Where is the exception? Am I clear to each one of you guys? Everybody? Quick. Okay, sir. Moving forward. Let's focus now. Let me share the screen with you. So we have seen, sir, please e.print stack trace. Whenever I do it, immediately what will happen, sir? Immediately I'll get to know all the three information. First is, what is the exception all about? Second is, why is the exception coming? Exactly where the exception is coming. All three information are clear to all of us. Everybody? Faster. Faster, faster, each one of you. Everybody has to respond. By the way, I could see somebody. By the way, is there anybody who has joined for the day one? Type I in chat. I'm really sorry for those people I could not address. Type I in chat if anybody has joined today as the first session. Type I in chat. Because numbers are increasing, I can see new people I have joined. Anybody who has joined today as the first day, type I in chat. Okay, many people are there. Let me hold on, guys. Our existing people, 2 minutes. Let me address them. Okay, point is, okay, Gautam, Meghna, Sahana, Venkatesh, Yogesh, and Anusha A. If I'm not wrong, can I say all of us, whomever have joined for the day one, if it is your first day, can I say all of us have completed the learning of course or somewhere or other, any institute, college, wherever, YouTube, wherever you have done, you have learned Java and then you are coming to these sessions? Yes or no, guys? Everybody? Am I right? Type yes or no, guys. All of you, as you can see, everybody else is responding. Y or N? Faster, faster. Guys, you have to be responding. Those who have joined for the day one, if you want to type yes, if you want to say yes, type Y. If you want to say no, type N. If you have no idea what I'm asking, type don't know. DK. DK is enough. If I'm asking a question, you have to say something. Yes, no, or don't know. If you sit idle, that is not allowed. Please. So, people, those who have joined for the first day, and those who said yes also, I believe everybody have done somewhere or other course. These lectures are happening just a kind of revision for the people. Those who have done the course, they are attending the interview and they don't have much time to revise. Sir, super busy people we are. What to do? That's the reason these revision sessions are happening. So I'm not going to discuss slowly each and everything. Nah, this is revision. Fadafat will complete and move forward. Are you all comfortable? Yes, no, guys. The newly joined people, are you all comfortable? Yes, no. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. And in case if anywhere you are stuck, I have explained something and moved forward and you didn't understand, then you can respond in chat saying, sir, I have a doubt on this particular topic, or raise your hand in the chat. Because I'll not be continuously reading the chat. You keep pinging me, I'll definitely address your doubts. Whomever has any doubt, these sessions must be helpful for each and everybody. Am I clear? All of you new people, everybody clear? Faster, 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 faster. And can I say, yes, sir? Can I say, yes, one thing is clear to all of us. Whatever we started discussing about exception handling, 100% clarity, crystal clear is there. CC for crystal clear. So, I mean, short forms are there for every scenario. If you are crystal clear, whatever we have learned about exception, just now started though. If you're crystal clear, type CC, guys. Others, existing people, let me hear from you. Are you CC? Hello. Are you CC? Crystal clear with respect to exception handling? Faster. Yes, sir. All of us are pretty much clear. So moving forward, let me, as of now, we are just understanding how can we print the details about an exception object, which consists three information. What is the exception all about? Why the exception is coming? Where the exception is coming? But in case I want only to print two information, what went wrong? What is the exception? Why the exception is coming? I don't care about why, where. In that case, only two information if I want. What is the exception? Java.lang.arithmetic exception. Why the exception is coming? Because of divide by 0. Then you should go for toString. And last, get message. This will get just to one reason. What is the, sorry, why is the exception is coming? Pay attention. Why the exception is coming? Because you are dividing by 0. So basically 3 ways are there to get the information about an exception object, that is e.print stack trace or e.toString or e.getMessages. Print stack trace give us 3 information. What is the exception? Why the exception? Where the exception? Whereas toString is a method which give us 2 information. What is the exception and why is the exception? Get message give us only 1 information, that is you will tell. Get message gets only 1 information, that is, what is that? Faster, faster, faster. Everybody, why the exception has raised, and everybody have to respond, whether you are an existing student or newly joined student. Everybody proactively have to respond every single question I'm asking, guys. Faster. Unless you respond, you will not be able to learn, guys. Please pay attention. Now let's understand about the try catch flow. If at all exception occur, what happens? If exception does not occur, what happens? And rather than keep showing on this, if you don't mind, can I get into the Eclipse? Is the Eclipse visible to each one of you? Is the Eclipse visible to each one of you? Yeah, let me create another package. Oh, new project itself, Java project called exception handling. So that, I mean, at least some demo we will do with respect to. Okay, sir, let me, within the SRC, let me quickly create a package. What is the package? com dot vs for you, v stand for you dot exception. Okay, sir. In this, let me create a new class. I'll create one dummy class, boss. Don't expect. Exception demo, exception handling demo. Take it. And I'll be having a main method within it. And I'll mimic the entire scenario over here, whatever is written. Sir, statement 1, then try statement 2, then let me start. Sir, this is first thing, statement 1. Moving forward, I'll say try block. Within the try block, I have statement 2, then divide by 0, then statement 3, then I'll correct it, don't worry. Arithmetic exception, E, then I will say here statement 4, at the end statement 5, and for fancy purpose, I will write one more statement, say the end. So this is statement 2, and over here, I will say what? Divide by 0, 10 by 0, basically. Divide anything by 0, and 3, then I will say 4, then I will say 5, and here I will say the end. Done, sir. This is what the scenario we are discussing all about. Agree? Sir, as of now, can I say everybody, each one of you, please focus and pay attention, guys. Can I say, sir, as of now, exception is occurring at the line number 10. Do you all agree? Yes, no, faster, guys. Quick. We are running out of time. Faster. Can I say line number 10 is where the exception is occurring? If I execute, pay attention. Can you see? Oh, there is no exception occurred. Oh, there is no exception occurred. Do you agree? There is no exception occurred. Yes, no. Do you agree? There is no exception occurred. Sana, think and answer, madam. There is no exception occurred. Agree. See, there is no exception coming. There is no exception occurred at all, right? Pay attention. Exception has occurred at this moment. But since you're writing try and catch, exception has been handled by this. Agree? Very good. Those who have responded correctly, guys, thank you. Pay attention what is happening. Sir, statement 1 has been printed absolutely fine. Statement 2 also printed absolutely fine. Statement 3, some exception came. That's the reason statement 3 is not executed. See, where is the statement 3? There is no statement 3 because at this an exception occurred. Control will step out of the try block and get into the catch block. See, after 2, directly statement 4 is coming. Or if you want, I'll write catch. So you'll get more clarity. Can I say yes? catch body has been executed, but statement 3 never executed because exception occurred. Agree? And once you enter into the catch block, exception became, control execution becomes normal, statement 5 and the end as it is executed. But what if I say, let's comment the line which is generating the exception. In this case, I expect you to respond. What is going to happen, guys? Answer, please, faster. Faster, everybody. Faster. Each one of you have to respond, guys. Please, faster. Take the discussions very seriously, guys. Proactively respond. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 5, the end. 1, 2, 3, 5, the end. Okay, sir. 1, 2, 3, 5. But 4 will not be executed. Simple. Let me re-execute. See, 1, 2, 3, 5 is there. Then the end. Of course, statement 4 is not executed. Reason. Reason is, Arey Baba, reason now. Now I have moved to the reason. Reason is exception didn't even occur. There is no exception came, sir. If exception is not there, why to go to the alternate path? We will continue the same path. Then catch block body will be absolutely skipped. Can I say everybody clear? Should I move ahead? Okay, let me ask you this way. Suppose, as of now, I'm writing arithmetic exception, right? Let me write another exception. And here some exception is coming. Pay attention now. Now I expect you to handle the situation and tell me the output, guys. What would be the output in this scenario? Answer, everybody. Faster, guys. Perfect. Everybody is giving the right answer except a couple of people. Let me help you with that. Guys, pay attention now. Let me help you. Shall we start? Let's start the discussion, guys. In other words, simply you are telling, sir, this line will be executed fine. This line, both the lines will be executed fine. This is executed fine. This is executed fine. Here is the exception coming. Am I right? If exception comes straight away, this is the try block, right? Straight away, step out of the try block. Agree? As soon as you step out of the try block, look for the corresponding catch. What is the corresponding catch? Oh, our exception is coming what? What is our exception coming? Our exception is coming, sir. Arithmetic exception. Am I right? Here exception is coming, arithmetic exception. But if you observe, which exception am I handling, guys? Short form, I am handling. Very good for arithmetic exception, AEU type. Thank you. For I am handling null pointer exception. Exception is coming. Arithmetic, I am handling null pointer exception. So is it a right catch? Is it a corresponding catch found? No, this is not the recommended catch to be executed. In that case, if exception occurred in try block and exception was not handled by the catch block correctly, so do you think whatever problem came, we have fixed the problem or problem still exists? Option A, problem fixed. Option B, problem exists. Option A, problem fixed. Problem exists. Option B, yes, sir, problem still exists. Can I proceed further and execute? Can I say, let's proceed further and execute? Can I say proceed further? No, we cannot. When there is a problem, we cannot proceed further and execute smoothly. In that case, this exception will be delegated to somebody. If I am writing a code where program cannot be handling the exception, then somebody else will handle the exception. That is default exception handler, DEH. Short form, guys. Short form is DEH. Good. DFE. No problem. default exception handler will handle the exception when in few scenarios. Listen very carefully. When does the default exception handler will handle the exception? Very important scenario, guys. Listen very carefully. Default exception handler will handle the exception. First scenario, you are not writing any try catch. You are not writing any exception handling code. In that case, default exception handler will handle the exception. First scenario. Second scenario, you have written default exception handling. You have written exception handling code. You have written exception handling code, but corresponding catch not found. But corresponding catch not found. In that case, still default exception handler will handle. And whenever default exception handler handle the exception, in that case, program execution is always abnormally terminated. Always program execution will be abnormal termination when default exception handler handle the exception. I repeat, default exception handler handles the exception in two cases. There is no try catch written. There is no exception handling code written wherever exception was occurring. Second, if you have written exception handling code, but that is not accurate, which could not handle the exception, then again, default exception handler handle the exception. And whenever default exception handler handle the exception, then program execution is always abnormal termination. Am I clear? Program execution will be terminated abnormally by default exception handler. Yes, no, faster, everybody. Each one of you, did you understand? Default exception handler will come in two scenarios. You didn't even write the exception handling code, or you have written the code which could not handle the current exception object. Then default exception handler handle the code, handle the scenario, and program execution will be terminated abnormally. 100% crystal clear. Shall I move forward, guys? Faster. Faster. Shall I move forward? Crystal clear? Okay, sir. These are the only scenarios where default exception handler will come into the existence. Am I clear? Each one of you? Okay, sir. Moving forward. What is the need of multiple catch blocks? There is a concept where we can have multiple catch blocks. Pay attention. If you focus, there are two scenarios are kept to you where one try block is there, one catch block, except arithmetic exception, other catch block, except exception. If you see the second scenario, try is there, but first exception is there, then arithmetic exception is there. And before moving forward, before you handle the scenario and answer me this, you help me understand. Can I consider that all of you are pretty much aware about the exception handling hierarchy of the exception handling? Do you all know? Exception handling hierarchy, do you all know? Yeah, majority said yes. So can I say we understand very well? I am not, since everybody said yes, I'm not rewriting it. I'll reiterate or revise for you. Listen very carefully. Pay attention. Exception handling code always start from, let me listen, those who said yes. Exception handling always start from, exception hierarchy start from. लिख दो कुछ भी, क्या जाता है? Write anything? Who cares? Very good exception, Sana. Very good. Guys, exception handling start from throwable. Throwable has two child, exception and error. Hope you remember. Throwable, error and exception. In exception, again further classification. What are those? Runtime exception, IO exception, interrupted exception, and so on. In runtime, there are further child exceptions are there, like null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, input mismatch exception, index out of bounds exception, array index out of bounds exception, child index, string index out of bounds exception, illegal argument exception. These are the example of child of runtime exception classes. Hope you all remember. Hello, do you all remember? Also, here one very popular interview question comes. What is the difference between checked exception and unchecked exception? Everybody? Any idea? Yes, no? Can you handle the question? What is the difference between checked and unchecked exception? Perfect. Thank you, guys. Those who have responded, thank you. For others, I'll rephrase. Listen, one of the very popular interview question when it comes to the exception handling. when it comes to the exception handling. Very important question, very popular interview question. Difference between checked exception and unchecked exception. First thing, all the classes those who are child of runtime exception, all the classes those who are child of runtime exceptions are the unchecked exceptions. I repeat, all the classes those who are child of the runtime exceptions are the child exceptions. One. And other classes those who are not the child of runtime exception, they are checked exception. Checked exceptions are the exceptions those who are not the child of runtime exception. A runtime exception child are unchecked exceptions. Am I clear, everybody? One difference. Second difference, checked exceptions are the exceptions where compiler will check, are you handling any exception handling code or not? Because checked exception is something where compiler enforce us to handle the exception, or declare to faster, or declare to faster, or declare to, either you handle the exception. For all the checked exception, compiler forces us to handle the exception, or second scenario, or DRH. What is DRH, Amma? Default exception handler. No. Default exception handler will come into the existence when execution start. During compile time, compiler forces you to handle the exception. If you are not handling the exception, at least declare to. Arey, come on, yara. Perfect. Throws. Declare to throws, not throw. Declare to throws. Arey, do you all remember? Yes, no? By the way. Perfect. Now listen carefully. There are two types of exceptions. In checked exceptions, compiler expects you to handle the exception. Mandatory, you have to handle the exception. If you are not handling it, at least declare to throws, so that caller will understand, okay, this method is generating a checked exception. Are you all clear, guys? Everybody? Hello. By the way, can I expect you know the exception hierarchy, guys? I'm purposely not wasting time into these things which are but obvious. If you're not sure, let me know. Can I say each one of you are clear with the exception hierarchy? Hello. Once again, respond in chat. Are you all clear? Faster, guys. Everybody have to respond. So many people are there in the class. I'm not here to waste time. Faster response. Fine. See, if you understand or not, you just let me know that. Both the cases. If you're not telling anything and sitting idle, that is not tolerable, boss. Please. Funda is, there are two types of exceptions. Few exception classes are child of runtime exception, where compiler is least bothered whether you are handling the exception or you're not handling the exception. They are unchecked exception because compiler is not checking whether you are handling the exception or not. Done. But there are few exceptions. Such exceptions, those who are not child of runtime exception classes. Such classes, those who are not child of runtime exception classes, they are called checked exception. And for any checked exception, if there is a possibility of checked exception coming, mandatory you have to handle the exception. Mandatory you have to handle the exception. If you are not handling the exception, at least declare to throws, so that caller will know that this is generating a checked exception. They mandatory have to handle, or they'll further throws. But you cannot say, I am not handling the exception, I am not declaring to throws also. That is not allowed. Compile time error will come. Are you all with me? Everybody faster? Everybody clear? All of you are clear? Faster, guys. Okay, sir. Now, difference. Understand. Once again, I'll reiterate. There are few exception classes, those who are child of runtime exception. They are called unchecked exception. There are few classes, those who are not child of runtime exception. They are called checked exception. Unchecked exception, compiler is least bothered whether you are handling the exception or not. In case of checked exception, compiler is enforcing the developer to handle the exception, or at least declare to throws. Am I clear to each one of you? Each one of you. Okay, then. Let me ask you one simple question. Sir, checked exception occur at compile time, yes or no? Checked exception occur at compile time. Yes or no? Faster. Checked exception occur at compile time. Faster. Very good. Very good. All of you. Faster. Checked exception occur at compile time. Faster. Each one of you have to respond. At least DK is fine. Pay attention. Checked exception occur at compile time. Everybody yet not responded, guys. Don't make me unmute you and talk to you one-on-one. I don't want to do that, and you don't make me do that, please. If you are here in the session, either you learn effectively, else leave. Simple. So many people are there, hardly people have responded. Everybody, checked exception occur at run time or checked exception occur at compile time. Yes or no? Only one said no. Sana. That Sana says any exception occur at run time. Do you agree, Sana? Any exception is there, whether it's checked or unchecked, always occur at run time. Yes. Others. Hello, boss. What's wrong with you all? Listen and remember the definition of exception. During runtime, an unwanted event which terminates which disturb the flow of execution. Flow of execution at runtime. None of the exception will come at compile time. I repeat, all the exception, whether they are checked, unchecked, or even partially checked, any exception you take, all the exception always occur at runtime. Then at compile time, it is a compile time error is there that you are not handling the exception. It is never telling exception. And let me show you. There is no exception will be occurred at compile time. Shall I show you? Chaliye, let's get started. I'll bring you last one point. Let me cover off 2-3 things. 2 points are there. Last one, checked exception. One is unchecked exception. Any class which is child of runtime is a unchecked exception. Any class which is not child of runtime exception is a checked exception. And unchecked exception you are handling, not handling, compilers least bother. But in the case of checked exception, you mandatorily need to handle it. If you're not handling it, exception error will come. Compile time error will come, exception will not come. If you are not handling the checked exception, compile time error will come. No exception will come. Program not even gonna be executed. Compile time error, that checked exception is not being handled. One. And one more scenario is there called partially checked exception. Although as per the Java document, there is nothing called partially checked exception, but our great interviewers have generated terminology called partially checked exception. Exception is the class. Am I clear? Exception is the class which have child classes are unchecked exception as well as checked exception. Both the categories are there. That's why it is called partially checked exception. Am I clear? Everybody. Partially checked exception. Exception is the example of partially checked exception. If at all somebody asks. Because it have child as unchecked as well as checked. Shall I move? Now let's see whether checked exception occur at compile time or not. Let me write the code in Notepad++. Let me share the code with you all. Let me share the screen. I hope the screen is visible. Let me write down the program. Say class checked exception demo. Now let me write down public static void main string array of args, and over here, oops, sorry. Okay, here I'll write one try block. Sorry, within the try block, I'll write some code, any random code, but important is I'm handling the exception. Sorry, file not found exception, which is a checked exception. I hope you all are aware. System.out.println of catch body. Done. Here I'm simply printing one message saying try body. That's all. I'm not writing any code which can lead to the exception. Agree? Then here I'm saying the end. Let me save the code. Let me put it outside first. Here I will say done. Let me execute. Let me compile first. I'll increase the font size. Give me a moment. Okay, I hope it's pretty much visible. Now pay attention what is happening. I have written one try block which has only one normal print statement, and possibility of coming file not found exception is not there within the try block. Do you all agree? Yes or no, guys? There is no file reading writing operations I'm doing at all. So there is no file not found exception will come. Everybody faster. Do you agree? Faster, faster, faster. Yes, sir. There is no possibility. But despite of that, if I handle, is it allowed? If there is no possibility of checked exception coming, still if I handle it, then it is also not allowed. Rule is clear. If any checked exception is coming, you mandatory handle it. If there is no possibility of a checked exception, then don't unnecessarily handle it. I repeat this rule with respect to checked exceptions. If any exception is occurring, checked exception, then mandatory handle it. If there is no checked exception is coming, unnecessary don't handle it. See, as of now, I am handling unnecessarily. This catch block, whatever is highlighted, unnecessary written because there is no possibility of a checked exception coming, right? Do you agree? Do you agree, guys? Everybody. Faster. Everybody fast. No possibility that a checked exception will be occurred. File not found exception. Despite of that, I wrote it. Let's check it. What's going to happen? Let me compile the code. And as per me, compilation error should be there. Oh, sorry. Let's see. This must fail for the compilation. Read the problem. Cannot find what symbol? What symbol upper? File not found exception not found. What symbol? Class file not found exception not found. Simple scenario. There is no possibility that file not found exception will be occurred. That is why it is happening. Am I clear? Everybody, checked exception you should handle only when it is coming. Unnecessary you should not handle it. Agree? Am I clear? Everybody faster. Or let me give you another example. Another example is interrupted exception. Let me recompile. See, again, this will be a problem. What? See, this is giving absolutely correct message. See, exception in interrupted exception is never thrown in the body corresponding try statement. Are you getting my point? Exception what? Interrupted exception is never thrown in the body of corresponding try statement. This exception is never ever thrown. Then why are you handling it is the scenario. Are you getting my point, everybody? Faster. It's clearly telling when there is no possibility of interrupted exception, why are you handling it? Let me say thread dot sleep. There is a method called thread dot sleep. We will discuss, which throws the interrupted exception. In this case, if I compile now, compilation is successful. Reason why it is successfully compiled. Reason at this line, possibility of interrupted exception is there. That's why it is allowed. But what if I am not writing this, rather than I am writing some other exception? See, try to understand. Here, an interrupted exception may occur, but I am not handling the correct code, correct exception handling. I am not doing it. In that case, do you think there is a possibility of checked exception coming? Yes. Am I handling that checked exception? No. In that case, compilation will be successful. Yes or no? Compilation will be successful. Yes or no? Everybody, if checked exception at this moment, interrupted exception is being generated. Checked exception is generated. I am not handling the code for interrupted exception. In that case, still this will fail to compile because whatever checked exception is coming, I am not handling. You see, unreported exception, interrupted exception, clearly telling you are not reporting. It must be caught or declared to be thrown. Am I clear? Either you catch it, it must be caught, or declared to be thrown. So what do I do, sir? You do one thing, sir. Write another catch block, no problem, called interrupted exception. Interrupted catch block. Now, if I say, let me compile, things works fine. Okay, I didn't execute it. Compilation is successful. Let me say Java, check the exception demo, hit enter. Okay, my system has a problem. Just a minute. Let me set the class path. Can you see try block and then end is coming? Oh, because thread dot exception. It is just saying sleep. That's all. It is just sleeping for a moment. If you see, there is a pauses there while executing. See, waiting for some time. Then it is executing. I'll increase the waiting time. You'll be able to understand. 3 seconds. It will wait. Although there is no exception coming. Everything is fine. Am I clear? Okay, sir. In this case, forget about the any exception. Okay, let it be. Remove it. Multiple catch block. What is the need of it? Say, for example, here I'm saying thread dot sleep. Once again, I wrote it. Sorry, my bad. And I'm handling also. Why am I doing all this? Okay, sir. This is there. Now everything is fine, right? But rather than arithmetic exception, is it okay if I write file not found exception? Is this allowed, guys? Is this allowed? Exception is about to generate interrupted, which is a checked exception. That I'm not handling it. But I'm handling another exception, which is checked exception, which is never being thrown. If you write code like this, compiler will step out of GAVM and come and kick you. Shall we check? By the way, will it compile? Hello? Guys, will it compile? Of course, no, sir. Let's check it. Java C, checked exception, demo.java. Pay attention. Cannot find symbol, file not found. First, this is the problem. This is never ever generated. And second problem, it is not even encountered yet. So let me remove this. Then second problem will come, I believe. Check. Now it is telling unreported exception. Perfect, sir. Now, it is always recommended that you should at least write one catch which accept a generic exception. Are you getting my point? So that even if none of the catch block has handled the exception, at least our generic exception will be there. Agree? Am I clear to all of you? It is recommended you write any number of catch block. There is no problem, right? So it is recommended that last catch block should be always an exception or throwable. Shall I proceed now? Let me show you. Oh, file not found is not coming unnecessarily. I wrote it. That's why. Let me remove it. Compilation is successful. Let me execute. See, things are working fine. Done, sir. I made it for 3 seconds. No problem. Perfect. I'll come to that, Bharat. Very good. Whenever you are writing multiple catch blocks like this, in this case, can I say, sir, let's do one thing. Now, I wrote what exception first, then I wrote arithmetic exception. What do you think? Will this compile, guys? I wrote generic exception first, then I'm writing the specific later. Will this compile? Yes, no, or DK? DK is most welcome. No problem. Type DK. If you don't know something, type DK. No problem. Perfect. Very good. Some people are saying it is executable. Let me help you with that. Let me ask you at this moment. At this line number 6, interrupted exception coming. Yes or no, everybody? Interrupted exception is coming at line number 6. Yes, no, faster. Yes, sir. Interrupted exception is coming at line number 6. Now, exception occurred. We will step out of this try block. Done. Agree. We will step out of the try block. As soon as any exception occurred, step out of the try block. Agree. As soon as any exception occurs, step out of the try block. Yes or no? Faster. Yes, sir. I step out of the try block and look for the corresponding catch block which can handle the interrupted exception. Which exception is coming? Interrupted exception, right? You tell me. Is exception is the parent of all the exception classes in Java? Yes or no, guys? Is exception is parent of all the exception classes in Java? Yes, sir. And can I say parent reference can hold the child object? Yes or no, guys? Parent reference can hold the child object. Can I say parent reference can hold the child object? Yes, sir. Parent reference will hold the child object. Reference E of type exception. And exception object is what? Interrupted exception. So can I say parent object reference E can hold the child object interrupted exception. So don't you think this catch block will be executed? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Similarly, let me give you another scenario. Pay attention to this. What if I'm saying system.out.println of divided by 0? In this case, pay attention. At line number 6, which exception is coming? Short form, faster. Which exception is coming at line number 6? Faster, faster. Which exception is coming at line number 6 this time? This time it is coming arithmetic exception. Beautiful answer, guys. Very good. People, those who are responding faster, excellent, guys. Thumbs up to you. Hardly 10 people are there. Remaining people, keep enjoying. Have fun, guys. We had been lazy forever. Still we are lazy. Wish you all the best. Remaining people, those who are responding, excellent, guys. Hats off to you all. At line number 6, we are facing arithmetic exception. If arithmetic exception is coming, can I say arithmetic exception is also somewhere or other child of exception only? Do you agree? Arithmetic exception is also child of exception. So can I say parent reference can hold the child object still? Yes or no? Can I say E, exception E can still hold the arithmetic exception object? In that case, this line will be executed. Yes or no? Agree? Sir, you tell me one scenario when this line will be executed. When this arithmetic exception catch block will be executed. Tell me. Because if in try block, any exception occur, this our generic catch block exception, always handle the exception. Then all the catch blocks written after the exception will never be able to handle the situation. Agreed? Dead code situation will come. This is called unreachable code error. This is called unreachable code error. Let me show you that. Shall we compile? Pay attention. What is the problem? Has already been handled. See, arithmetic exception has already been handled by somebody else. Who? Exception E. Why are you writing once again? Am I clear to everybody? Am I clear? So, rule is what? So, rule is simple and straight. Whenever you're writing multiple catch blocks, always ensure write the specific child classes first. Write the specific first, then the generic exception later. Always at the end, last, you need to write exception E. That is the generic, but always at the last, never at the first. First is always specific, then generic. Can I say first is louder? First is faster. First is specific exception should be written faster. We should always handle the exception. Which one? Specific first. Whenever we are writing multiple catch blocks, first we should write the catch block for specific exception. Arey yaar, guys, only 3 people responded. What's wrong with you all? Arey short form likho na yaar, pura kaun type karega yaar? Come on. Specific. If all the specific exceptions are written, then it's as a best practice. At the end, ensure to write the one catch block, which is generic exception catch block. Agree? Very good, guys. See, now you're ready, I guess. You took a little time for responding. It's okay. Good. First, we write the specific catch block. At the end, as a best practice for the safer side, let's write the exception as the last generic. Am I clear, everybody, guys? Faster. Shall moving forward. Now, pay attention to this scenario. I hope the slide is visible. Now, tell me. Yes, guys, faster. So, scenario 1, will this work? Yes, no. Scenario 1, will this work? Yes, no. Compilation wise, any problem? Will this work? Will this work? Yes, sir. This will work, no problem. Scenario 2, pay attention. Scenario 2, any problem in the case of scenario 2, guys? In the case of scenario 2, any problem? Yes, there is a problem. Pay attention. Yes, there is an error. Reason. Any exception will be handled by this catch block when this is going to execute. Arithmetic exception has already been handled over here. This will never be executed. Am I clear to everybody? Faster. Do you agree? Yes, sir. So this is actually equivalent to writing this only. Can you see? Whenever I wrote it this way, this is actually equivalent to writing this way. Do you agree? This is equivalent to writing this way only. Why are you writing multiple catch blocks? Now comes finally Shall I move to finally, guys? Shall I move? Finally, try and catch a combination. I'll discuss about combination. So many will come. Hold on. And I don't think so. Exceptionally will be done in today's session only. But let me try my best. Finally is a block. What is finally all about? Let's start. Sir, finally is a lowercase. Finally is a block meant for handling. No. Meant for handling the exception. Meant for try catch. No, Sham. Why? What is the need of finally? Disconnecting. Okay. Finally is a block where code will be executed for sure. Executed for sure. If you need to write a code which must be executed no matter what do you mean by no matter what? Few scenarios are there. Pay attention, all the scenarios. First scenario, no exception occurred. Exception occurred in try block. First scenario, still finally will work. Second, exception occurred but handled successfully. Successfully means corresponding catch found. Agree? Arey yaar, people are not even responding now. Exception occurred in try. In try. But handled successfully. Done, sir. Then comes third. Exception occurred in try, but couldn't handle. Which scenario? In which scenario finally block will be executed? In which scenario finally block will be executed? In all the scenarios, finally will be executed except two scenarios. Let me tell you what are those scenarios. In all these three scenarios, finally block will be executed for sure, but only two scenarios when finally will not be executed. Perfect. One, first case is what? When finally does not work. First case. One, JVM shutdown. JVM shutdown using a method called system dot very good exit of any number. If JVM has been shut down by encountering a call of system dot exit of any number, or exception occurred before entering into try block. If I could not even get into the try block, then still, I mean, before getting into the try block, only exception occurred. Then finally will not be executed. If control entered inside the try block and it didn't encounter anywhere system.exit, then mandatory finally will work. No doubt about it, except these two scenarios where exception occurred before entering into the try block, or after entering to the try block, somewhere system.exit call is being executed. That means shut down the JVM. Then only finally will not work. Else, if at all, control enter into the try block. If no exception occurred, finally will work. Exception occurred, handle successfully, finally will work. Exception occurred, could not handle successfully, still finally will work for sure. If control entered inside the try block, means it will work for sure. Kindly, people, those who need, kindly take a picture of it without fail. Kindly take a picture of this. Let me highlight it if you want. Wait a minute. This is the scenario will not work, and this is the scenario when it must work. Please pay attention. Finally is the block where code will be executed for sure. If control entered inside the try block, code will be executed for sure, where all the code should be written which mandatory needs to be executed. Like some cleanup activities. Definitely. Am I clear, everybody? Everybody clear? चलिए, shall I move forward? Shall I proceed, guys? All of you are not responding still. Shall I proceed? Okay, then let's get started. See, suppose I'm starting a DB connection or some file reading operation or any operation where I'm doing resource allocation. If you remember scanner, remember scanner sc or kb equal to new scanner of system.in, that I'm created a new object of scanner where I'm trying to read the data from a input output device. Agree? I have done a resource allocation. I have used the resource sc dot next int, kb dot next int, kb dot next line, sc dot next line. These are the methods I've used. I've used the scanner object. Can I do the deallocation here itself? I can do it, but what if some exception occur during reading the data? Then finally block will not work. Are you with me? Then shall I do it in catch block? If exception occur, then do the resource allocation. In that case, if there is no exception occurred, then resource will not be deallocated. In that case, both the scenarios are not recommended. Recommended scenario is you create a resource in try, use the resource, and provide the alternate path of resource for the if any exception occur, use the resource. Everything done, then resource deallocation should be done. Am I clear? Resource deallocation means wherever you are closing some object, that should be done inside the finally block. See, I'm not going into the practical examples of all these. I believe all of you know try catch finally very well. Now try to understand. If I write the code, then what is the outcome? Short form also accepted. In this case, what is the output, guys? In this case, what is the output? In this case, what is the output, guys? In this case, output. Everybody. In this case, output is try and no error will come. Bharat, why the error is coming, man? What is the problem? Bharat, what is the problem, dude? Try will be executed successfully. If there is no exception, why do I need to go to the catch block? Then I'll go to the finally block and print the finally. No problem, buddy. It's okay. Pay attention. Can I say one try with one catch block? Is it allowed? Will this compile? One try and one catch block. Will this allow? Not everybody is responding, guys. I am watching everybody's responses. I don't want to take your name. Bhavna, today very much less response is coming. Now you responded. Sahana, new person. Sham, somewhere in between you're responding. Sumant, very less response. Venkatesh, no response at all. Yogesh, Meghna, Radhika, what's wrong with you today? Gautam, never responded. Brinda, hardly 1 or 2 times you have responded. Anusha, also very less. Guys, you have to respond in the chat. Okay, fine, Radhika. Must try to avoid traveling during this time. Venkatesh, I need faster and aggressive response from you, dude. Is that possible? Even more better. Look at the other people. They are always first to respond. I need you to respond immediately a moment ask it. Clear? Possible, Venkatesh? Yeah, great. So this will work, no problem. One try and one catch, legal combination. Look at this scenario. One try, multiple catches, where specific is first, generic is later. Allowed. First specific, then generic. First specific, then generic, allowed. This will compile for sure, no problem. Pay attention to the next scenario. One try with multiple catch blocks. Both the catch blocks have array index out of bounds exception, which is absolutely not allowed. Duplicate catch blocks are there, not allowed. Last catch block will never execute. Now, pay attention, unreachable catch block for array index out of bounds exception. It is already being handled by array index out of bounds exception. Very much easy to understand. Now, next. Very carefully answer this one. Try has a catch block. Another try has another catch block. Is it allowed? If you don't know, DK is fine, guys. No problem. People, those who are new, you can type DK anytime. Most welcome. That means I have to explain. If you're saying yes, no means you have understanding about the concept. Yes, this is allowed, sir. Nothing but this try block has one catch block. Here the story of try catch is over. Then another try block started. That try block has this catch block. Story over. So basically one try catch over, another try catch is started. Perfect. Chaliye, moving forward. Pay attention to this one. Is it okay if I don't write the catch block directly, I write the finally? Try and finally. Is it a valid combination? Each one of you. Yes, sir. Try and finally is a valid combination. Catch is optional. Okay. So as finally is also optional? Yes. Finally and catch, both of them are optional, but one of them must come. Try should not come alone. Pay attention to the next slide. Next scenario. Can I say only try? Is this allowed? This is not allowed, sir. With try, something should be there. Can I say only catch? Can I say only catch? Very good, guys. Super. This is also not allowed. Catch means must come after the try. Finally means it can come either after catch or after try. For finally, at least one try mandatory must be there. If I write directly finally, this will also not gonna work. Pay attention. Next comes what? Try, catch, finally. Is this gonna work? Yes, 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 yes. Definitely gonna work. No problem. Try, catch, finally is a valid combination. Pay attention to this one. Try. Once again, try, catch, finally. Is this allowed? No, sir. Problem is our first try. Problem is our first try. What is the problem with the first try, sir? First try is something which is not having anything, nor the catch, nor the finally. That is the reason it is not gonna accept. Pay attention now. Next. Okay, sorry, there is a little issue is there. Hope you can read it. Try, multiple catch, having exception, exception, and then finally. Is it allowed? Oh, lonely try is not allowed. Bharat, good. Nikhil, pay attention, man. Multiple catch block have the same exceptions. Is it allowed? Nikhil, think, buddy. Think an answer. This is not allowed, right? Okay, this is one purposely I have kept them this tick point just to tease the students, just to check with their confidence. This also will not work. Suppose consider this one, this exception is written is actually null pointer exception. Consider. And then I have written the exception. In that case, what do you think? This is exception and null pointer exception. This way it is written. Consider. Try null pointer exception, exception, finally, finally. Will this compile now? Will this compile now? Try null pointer exception, exception, finally, finally. What is the problem? What is the problem, guys? Everybody is saying no, it is not gonna compile. Arey, I'm not writing the same exception. What is the problem? You wrote one more finally. For this finally, where is the try? Second finally has no try. Perfect, guys. Very good. Everybody responded correctly. Now pay attention to this. Is this allowed? Is this allowed? No, this is also not allowed. Reason, there should not be coming a single statement between try and catch. If you do so, then for this try, there is no catch. For this catch, there is no try. In between try, catch, finally, nothing should come, not a single statement, anything. So this is not gonna work. How about this one? Of course, first try and catch, absolutely correct. Second catch does not have a try. Do you all agree? Am I clear? Yeah, it will not gonna come. Perfect. Pay attention to this one, guys. Now pay attention. Try has a catch. Then I wrote one println, and then I'm saying finally. Will this compile? Will this compile? Will this compile? Nishchita? For this finally, where is the Dilshad and Nishta? For this finally, you help me understand. For this finally, where is the try or catch? Any try is there for this finally? This finally is coming without try. Reason, you have written something between. Pay attention. The moment you write anything in between, this is the end of the try catch hierarchy. This finally does not have any. This finally does not have any. Respond in chat. This finally does not have any. This finally does not have any try. Even if at least try is there, that is fine. Nah? At least try is required. If try catch both are coming, that's great. But at least try is required. Yes or no, guys? Now pay attention. Is this allowed? Within the body of try, can I write try catch? Yes, sir. There is no problem. Nesting of try catch finally is allowed in all the scenarios, whether it is try block, catch block, or finally. Am I clear? Everybody? Now moving forward, there is no issue. Check this scenario. Try, inside the body of try, I'm writing one try and then catch. Is it allowed? This try does not have a body. This try does not have either the catch or finally. That is the problem. This try does not have a try, catch, or finally. That is the problem. Am I right? Inner body try does not have a catch or finally. Pay attention. This one. Will this be allowed? Will this be allowed? Will this be allowed? Within try, nothing is there. I mean, some statements are there, consider. Within the catch block, can I write try catch? If you don't know, type DK, guys, most welcome. Within the catch block, I'm writing try catch. There are mixed answers, guys. Pay attention, you can write try catch wherever you want, provided you're writing right combination of try catch and finally. You can write within the try body, within the catch body, within the finally body. Also, you can write try catch finally. There is no problem. Provided none of the catch is coming without try, none of the finally is coming without try, none of the try is coming without either catch or finally. Then there is no problem. You write within the body of try, within the body of catch, within the body of finally, everywhere it is acceptable. Am I clear? Am I clear, each one of you? Faster, guys. Faster, faster, faster. Okay, sir. There is no problem. You can write try catch within the try, catch, or finally, anywhere. So in that case, is this also allowed? Hello, hello? Is this also allowed? This is also allowed. Other people, pay attention, those who are saying no. Sir, repeat the fundamentals. What is the fundamental rule? You can write try catch in either in the try body, catch body, or finally body. No problem, provided combinations are correctly written. Try catch combination must be correctly written. See, everything is clear. There is no problem. This will also work. Pay attention to the next one. First, second, third. You need to answer first, will it work or not? Second, will it work or not? Third, will it work or not? One, let's talk about one only. First one. First one, will this work? Will this work, everybody? No, it will not work. Reason, curly braces are mandatory. Curly braces are perfect, Bharat. No braces are there. Curly braces are mandatory for try, catch, and finally. So this will fail, this will fail, and as well as all three will fail. Why? For every, no, last one will also fail. Finally also does not have a block. Finally is a block, try is a block, catch is a block. If block is there, that means curly braces are mandatory. Am I clear to everybody, guys? Faster. Now pay attention to the next slide. Things to remember. Try, catch, finally. Order is mandatory. You cannot write catch first, then try, and then finally. Nah. First always try comes, then catch comes, then only finally will come. This order has to be maintained. You can write one try and number of catches. There is no problem. You can skip the finally. No problem. One try, multiple catches finally, provided first you write the specific, then you write the generic catches. And at least one, I mean, at most one finally for a try. For one try, only one and only one, maximum one finally is allowed. In between n number of catches you write, but if you're writing multiple catches, ensure specific first, then generic. Then over here, one try, either you write catch or finally. Either of them you write allowed. But if you skip writing catch or finally for try, then it is not allowed. At least one catch or one finally mandatory must be there. Am I clear to everybody? Each one of you? These are the important conclusions. Now, actually, if I continue, this will go forever. Do you want to stop the session now? So that, because one thing is very much clear to me, exception handling will not be completed within one day. I mean, I thought of completing it one day, but I don't think so. Even if I spend 1 more hour, it was not going to be completed. That is clear to me. So shall we continue, or let's start tomorrow? Very good, Bharat. One person only saying, rest everybody saying tomorrow. Very good, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. हाँ तो भाइयों बहनों, tomorrow everybody, majority of the people are saying thank you tomorrow. Fine, we will start tomorrow only. And Bharat said take 10 minutes of break and continue. भाई सुबह से चले हैं. Morning 7 I started and it's already 12 hours of journey now since morning. I am a bit hungry now. I am not tired. I'm a bit hungry now. That is the problem. Being a foodie person, I am a bit hungry. So programming section, arey haan bhai, very good. Today only we started basic introductory part of the numbers. Tomorrow onwards you can start. I was about to announce the same thing. So morning 7 a.m. I'll ensure to put the link into the PPP as well tomorrow onwards for few days when we are doing numbers and series programming, and you can attend the session. Even today we have done basic understanding about reading the last digit, taking out the last digit. If you want, I'll share the recording of that also. Okay, you ping me personally, I'll share that. Today nothing much happened. We just started. Initially hardly some 10 programs approx we have done. Basics are there. I'll share them. And others, those who have no idea what we are talking, since you have joined recently, there is a numbers document I have shared into the group. If you don't have it, I'll share it again, guys. Don't worry. Okay, you just ping me, I'll share it in the group again. And whatever slides we have discussed, for these slides, we have created one document, Google document. That link you will find into the WhatsApp group description. If you go to the group description of WhatsApp group, there you will find the document. Google document link is there. There, if you open, whatever we have discussed, everything is there. And if you are like, sir, I am coming in between, exception handling means so many sessions would have happened before. Yes, few sessions, not so many, few sessions happened before. If you need access, let us know. We'll keep you posted. Okay. So that's it for the day. See you tomorrow. And let's continue further with respect to our exception handling discussion. Is that okay, guys? All of you comfortable? And I expect you to at least have a look at exception hierarchy thoroughly and come, because I want you to know very well. Then only we'll be able to proceed. Then only fun is there, right? I mean, most important thing, exception hierarchy. We cannot afford to miss it. It will take very less amount of effort. Please ensure to go through with all the exceptions, mandatory exceptions thoroughly. Although I'll share into the document as well. Please go through. See you tomorrow morning. Those of you want to attend the session, morning 7 a.m. is the class timing where programming discussions are happening. Prime number, leap year, Fibonacci series, Armstrong number. These are the programs that we are going through with it. Today's session also will be shared. Tomorrow onwards, link will be shared with your group. Please ensure to join. Those who are interested to learn about basic logical programming, pattern programming, if you're not comfortable, most welcome, you can join us. Okay. And if anybody else has any concern, you can type in chat. Others can drop it. And most importantly, hold on. Let me. Okay, others can drop it. Pay attention. What I'm saying is, please Take these sessions seriously, practice it, and attend as many interviews you can. Please don't skip any interviews unnecessarily. If you are eligible, please apply for the drive, attend the interview, get the job as soon as possible. One. And if you have nothing, you can drop the call, except one person. I wanted to talk to one person called Anusha A. Just stay, rest everybody can leave the call. Okay. Sorry. My bad. Somebody reminded me. TBN. Tata. Bye bye. Namaskara. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. 5:30. Okay, guys. Sorry.